Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to go through one specific game and sort of pause it throughout and talk about why I'm doing things and what mistakes I've made or what correct things that I did in this game. So kind of using this as a learning experience for this team. I know a lot of people in the comments were asking, how do you deal with this lead? How do you deal with this in the back? XYZ, you know? So let's go ahead and break down one single game here. And maybe if y'all like this, we can do this with a couple other leads. Someone you can mention in the comments if you want to see a Reggie lead versus Cresselia, what do I do in that situation, and so forth. So let's go ahead and get started right now. Alright, so in this game, we're going with our usual team, Cresselia, Giratina, and Swampert, and we meet a Poliwrath in the front. Super good matchup for us. All we have to do is land the Moonblast. He switches out to Mewtwo. We are going to want to switch to Giratina here. You know, goes to super effective against Psychic. The one thing about Armored Mewtwo, though, is that even though these confusions are resisted, they are doing a lot of damage, and this Psystrike will actually do a lot of damage because Giratina Origin Form is very squishy. So I decide, okay, I'll shield once, and then I'm going to throw this Shadow Ball, which would do a ton of damage, bring him down to maybe farm range, and then we would farm him up and then get into the next matchup with an energy advantage. He does end up shielding, which is really good for him. Now, look how low I'm getting just because of these confusions. So I'm going to decide, I think, right here, I'm going to want to shield. And the reason I shield here is because I want to maintain switch. We have that good matchup against Poliwrath. We don't want to accidentally get Cresselia into a bad matchup like a Lowland Mug, Shiftry, Registeel, something like that, you know? We want to maintain switch even at the cost of a shield in a good matchup. And we're going to go for the Shadow Ball again here. Oh no, this is the Ominous Wind. So he ends up not shielding there. He's fine giving up the switch. I think I end up staying in here, and I think that this may have been a mistake. That we definitely should have switched into Cresselia, and the reason for this is because I'm using up a lot of energy here, and even though we get this Poliwrath to about half life right here, Cresselia's Moonblast is going to be doing more than half HP, so we sort of wasted this energy because we would have had this matchup anyways, and then I decide to stay in right here for some reason. Definitely a mistake. We end up getting taken out here, and the reason that this is a mistake is because now when we come into Cresselia, their timer has been going for about 45 seconds. Yeah, we're coming back in with Cresselia, but their switch timer is going to be ahead of us, and that means even when we KO this Poliwrath right here, they're going to be able to swap, or they're going to be able to come in with something that's a counter to Cresselia if they have it, and then we would have to switch out of it, giving them back switch advantage, which is what their whole point of Armored Mewtwo was. I think that's actually why a lot of people use Armored Mewtwo. It's the same as Mewtwo in Masters League. It's very neutral against a lot of things, and it has a pretty good bulk and hits a lot of things. So they did actually have the Registeel. We have to switch to the Swampert. The one good thing for us is we know that the Armored Mewtwo is super low, so it looks like he's waiting for us to use energy here. We know that one Focus Blast isn't going to take us out. It's going to take 2 Focus Blasts. And we decide he still has a shield. We're going to want to take this shield. So whenever they have shields up, I usually like to go Hydro Cannon. So he comes back in with the Mewtwo. It's super low. I decide I'm not going to try to farm it down, though. I'm going to throw this Hydro Cannon. And I think right here they end up shielding. My mind's racing at 1,000,000 miles a minute now. I know we must have CMP tied. There's no reason they wouldn't shield, or they would shield this unless they had a Psystrike. That Psystrike's going to take us out. I got to think about what I'm going to do in the back with Cresselia against such a bad matchup in Registeel. And that's what I'm thinking about during this time. We're going to get a few extra Psycho Cuts in on this Mewtwo, especially since it's resisted and not a very good move. So we'll be able to farm up pretty good amount here going into this Reggie matchup. We actually get 5 Psycho Cuts in, so this is a ton of energy. In this matchup, you're going to want to go Future Sight. It does more damage than Moonblast. It costs 5 more energy and does 7 more damage, which, considering it resists both of those moves and the moves don't do a ton of damage because of that resistance, that's actually really good. So if we went Moonblast here, we would not be able to do enough damage, and I think we need to get 2 future sights off to win. No, we need 3 future sights to win this, which would probably equate to 4 Moon Blasts. So we just got to know our matchups there. The reason Cresselia even has Future Sight is because it's such a high damage move. Plus it's Stab, which means that it gets an extra boost because it's the same type attack as our Pokemon typing is as well. So we get to the second Future Sight here, and it takes it super low, and I'm like, okay, we definitely outpace this Reggie. This is going to be super close to KOing us. But if we can get to this Future Sight, we've got it, and I don't think he's going to be able to lock on farm us down from here. And yeah, we actually get the Future Sight here. So a really tough match for us to win there, but I will say, even though it's crazy that we won, a lot of the reason that it was so close was because we made all of those mistakes throughout. So I would say really got to get used to the switch timers, not only the switch timers, but the Pokemon that come in, and when they switch in, sometimes your brain locks up, and I think that's what happened to me here with the Giratina versus the Poliwrath. I was like, okay, I'm so close to this Shadow Ball, I just want to do so much damage, but if I had actually switched out, I would have had a Shadow Ball ready on Giratina whenever I wanted, and that would have been so good for us. And like I said, it really didn't help a lot in that Poliwrath matchup because Poliwrath was never going to do enough damage to Cresselia to matter, and Cresselia would have taken it out by himself, and then like we would have had the bomb in the back. So if y'all like this breakdown, I can do that for other leads if you just leave comments in the comment section. And yeah, like the video also. It lets me know you like it, right? So I guess until the next one, these are pretty easy to do and short, so hopefully it's easier for you to digest. Thanks for watching.